All right. So, in the last lecture that we had on the last Tuesday, we have tried to understand um the a part of the modern synthetic theory which we were able to complete, right? So, today we are going to start on a very fresh note, and today we will look into the details of chapter number 13, Organisms and Environment. So, today we shall be seeing and dealing with concepts from the chapter Organisms and Environment. Now, before we begin with this chapter, I want to share something with you. Okay. Yesterday, on the post of this group, I had posted a message about an assignment that was being given to you. I have posted a video, okay, and the response that I got for that video was very cold. So I would want you all to just unmute yourself and please reply to the questions that I will be asking you today. Just give me a second. Okay, yeah. So see, this video was there. How many of you all have learned this song? You think you are in a position to sing this song that I had posted yesterday? Is there even a single girl in the class who knows this song? Hello, I'm talking to you all. Is there even a single girl in the class who knows this song? At least one line of this song. That is really
Um,
sad. Now see,
Hello, ma'am.
yes, yes. See.
Humera here. I heard this song today. I felt it was nice, but I cannot sing it actually.
Humera, hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Just a second, beta. There is some problem here. Yeah, just keep speaking, please. Continue talking.
I
Hello.
heard this song. I heard this song yesterday night, but I cannot sing it.
Okay, Humera, just give me a second, okay? Yeah. You cannot sing it, but you have heard the song is what you are saying, right? Okay. Is there anyone else apart from Humera who knows about this song? You've seen the song, what it is about. Nobody in the class?
Ma'am, I heard the song. This is Duty. I heard the song. It is about how animals adapt to their environment.
Hmm. Okay, okay, okay. So this song was about adaptations. Yes. What else did this song say? Speak about.
It speak about
Habitat.
different animals where they live and how they adapt to their environment. And it has fishes in fishes. It has the explanation of fish, polar bear, then moose, and how they have different teeth and
Moose.
different parts.
Okay, okay, fine, great, great. Okay, so there are only two girls in the entire class that have actually gone and taken efforts and gone ahead to see the video, what the video talks about. Remember one thing, it is as difficult for us, if not really difficult, it is as challenging for us as it is for you to present something and uh, to pass on the information or make learning possible. So your contribution, your participation is of utmost importance. And if you are not going to actively show interest is something that takes effort. You need to take effort to develop the interest. So if you are not going to develop interest, then it's of no use, right? So what we will do is today we are going to start. See, even we have to learn something different. So today we are going to start with this song, okay? Is everybody ready for this? I would want you all to unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am. Even I heard
Okay.
it last night,
Huh.
but
Zeenat,
I
this is Zeenat, right?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. I'm sure you all of you are, if not great singers, but used to singing, correct? Yes? You all are used to singing? You all sing, I mean, you all hum, right? If nowhere else, the bathroom is your destination where you can be for hours and you can try your vocal cords. Yes? So today, I want all of y'all to unmute yourself and get into this song. Okay? See, we are not going to test your voices. So be free to sing, be free to read, be free to be a part. I want each and every girl in this class to be a part of this song because today we are going to start with something new. And if we want to begin with something new, why not start on a very positive note, right? So, is everybody interested in the first place in singing this song?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Great,
ma'am.
fine. But only on one condition. I want to hear your voices. It's going to be a total chaos, but it's worth it. Believe me, you will enjoy this song, and it's going to be fun. If you can connect yourself with this song, the rest of the chapter, everything will fit in place as we move on with this chapter. It's a very generalized chapter, so without me doing the actual lecturing or gyan business, let us just start with something very interesting today. Everybody with me? Everybody with me? Do you
Yes,
promise
ma'am.
me
Yes,
that you're
ma'am.
going to be a part of this?
Yes,
Yes, you're going to sing the way it is, okay? You're going to just screech, scream, do whatever you want. You have every right to do that. So I want you all to be a part of this song. Okay, all right. So I am going to share. Are you all able to see the screen?
No,
no,
ma'am.
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Coming, it's coming. One second. We're going to start with now. Are you all able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Let's begin. Everybody is ready. I would want everyone to open your videos. So I want to see all. I'm giving you exactly 15 seconds time. Just be comfortable in your skin. Yeah. I want to see all. I want to hear you all. And bingo, we go with the song. Are you all ready? All of you? Are you ready, girls?
Yes, ma'am.
Ready? Okay, but I can't see all. So why don't you be open to the video and the audio? Ready? I want you all to stand in your place. I want you all to clap as I clap, and I want you all to sing the song. Ready? अरे भाई कुछ तो बोलो. I didn't want to reveal
Yes,
this
ma'am.
out because I got a very negative response yesterday, so I was not sure, but I thought let me just try something interesting. Okay, let's start. Are you all able to hear the sound? Yes?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Come on, let's sing. Clap, snap. Ready?
If I was a polar bear in the
In the
tundra
tundra,
cold,
cold,
I need a
I
lot of
need a lot
fur
of fur.
and a
A
waterproof
waterproof
coat.
coat.
Polar bears will die, back to the animal habitat.
Habitat.
Yeah, and if I was a camel in the desert so hot, get a drink of
Had a
water.
drink.
I need to
I need to
hold a
hold
lot.
on.
Camels die. fish to eat. Dolphins and dive, that's back. Animal habitat. Bring it down now. Long hair, short hair, tentacles, wings, claws and spots and gills and teeth. Mammals, reptiles, birds and fish. Adaptations help them live. Oh, my world's a moose in the woods of Maine. I need long legs for the snow and rain. Tell me now, moves to die. That's a fact. The animal habitat. What's that? That's right. Animals adapt to animal habitat. Ooh, yeah. Animal habitat. Yeah.
All right. Great. Okay. So I want you all to unmute yourself. How was the experience of singing a song related to biology and doing something I don't
Much
think that
funny.
we have done in our class? Yes.
Much better than expected.
Too,
Sorry.
too much
One
fun.
person. Too much fun. No, I know exactly. We should keep doing something like this often, right?
Yes.
Huh? And imagine
Yes.
if we had to do this in a classroom environment, it would have been so much of a thrill and excitement, you know. It would have been just so amazing to have all of you all and jumping and dancing. Apart from all of this, the point here that I want to put across is what are the things that we have studied or tried to experience, ponder upon in this song? What was it that you could pick up from the song? What did the song talk about? You can unmute yourself and just answer. Yeah.
Amity, the song talked about
Yes,
habitats,
Amity,
adaptation.
first thing I want to know is your experience. How did you feel about this?
I feel very, like free and something. I enjoyed it actually. It was nice.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
Yes.
it was
And now
at
about the song. Yes, Amity, tell me.
the song talked about the different adaptations of different species in various regions.
Mm-hmm.
And
So this song, this
uh,
video was talking about adaptations of various animals that have adjusted in different regions, which means places. Definitely yes. Correct. Okay. Anybody else apart from Amity now who would want to say something? Nobody in class. So I'm sure you have not enjoyed this video, huh? We should not have such kind of activities, I guess.
Hello, ma'am.
Huh. Yes. Who's this?
Miss Megan here. Megan.
Yes. Hi. Tell me.
Ma'am, it was a really fun experience because by listening to a song and saying it out loud, it sticks in your head. Then it
Yeah.
continuously goes about in your head, and then you remember it. So and the tune was
True.
also quite catchy. So yeah,
Yeah.
and what I understood from the video is how different animals from different parts of the earth adapt to their habitats. What
Wow.
adaptations they take from their surroundings.
Fabulous. Could you just repeat? Could you just come again and say what you had to say just now, the last line?
How they adapt to their different surroundings.
Correct. How they adapt to the different surroundings. So if an animal, if let me more be more precise and rather more general, if an organism is living in a certain set of circumstances which becomes its habitat, then that organism is developing its individual characteristic ability to get well accustomed, well adjusted to the environment. And that is what this video was talking about. Fantastic, Megan. Great. Very nice. Really impressed. Yes. Anyone else? See, you have to just open. There is no wrong answer. I have just 3 more minutes for this activity because we need to start also with the class. But this is important. This will generate your interest. Tell me, anybody else? I'm giving you. And why don't you also open the video when you're chatting with me, so I can see you? Yes. Who else? Anybody else who has something to say? Hello? Hello?
Ma'am, it
Yes,
talks
ma'am.
about different parts of
Who's
it. It
this?
is Duty. Duty.
Viti, please unmute yourself and also let me see you. Let us all see you. Yes, Viti, tell me.
So, ma'am, it talks about mammals, reptiles, and different animals and different species, and how they have long hair, short hair, and different gills, teeth, etc.
Wow. So there is so much of variation. There is so much of diversity. There are so many individual characteristic features that makes the individuals that they are, the organisms that they are. Fantastic. One more person last. One more person I want to comment something. And then we move on with the lecture.
Ma'am, the same thing.
Who's this?
Like Zenith, ma'am.
Yes, Zenat. Could we please see you? See, in a bio setup in my lecture, I may ask you any time to unmute yourself. I may ask you all to show me your face. Yes, yes, Tina, tell me. Hi.
Yes, I was saying that the same thing. All of them just said it like adaptation and all, and also the how how animal adapt to, and it was saying in a very funny way. I thought for a while that we are gone mental.
You thought for a while that you are going to?
That we are gone a little bit crazy in some childhood situation.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's always nice to be crazy, in the right places, obviously. Great, very nice. Okay. On that, very nice. I also enjoyed being this because this is exactly how learning has to take place. Learning cannot be defined. You cannot define it in the four sides of a square. You cannot put it in a box. Let learning come out and automatically let interest develop and other things will be sorted out. On that note, without wasting time, we're going to actually start with the chapter which is exactly all of what you saw in the video. So, in this chapter, which is organisms and population, which is chapter number 13, we are going to see all of this. So, all the points which have been mentioned by you girls and the others, there must be so many of them in the class who must be having racing thoughts in their heads, but they were not able to put it up, which is also okay. Even if you're not able to stay, but if you are able to just sort it in your head for yourself. It's perfectly okay. Just be a part of the class. That's all that I expect from you. You be a part of the class, and I'll make sure that learning happens. Okay, but just be uh, don't be out of the class. Try to be a part of the class. Somewhere you sit there. कोई तो चीज हो जो आपके दिमाग में जाए इतना effort आपको देना है. Other things will sort it out. Okay. Yes. So of all the things that you people have said, you have talked about the habitat, which is the place where individuals live. You have talked about the adaptations that individuals have uh, contributed in. You have talked about the circumstances, the environmental, the climatic factors. You have talked about how they change. All of this we are going to see in organisms and environment. It's a very generalized chapter, but if you just pay attention, unlike organisms, unlike origin and evolution, for this chapter, all that you need to do is just pay attention to what the teacher is saying, and you need not even read it. You just read it once and it is done. So, if you can pay attention to what we are going to discuss today, it's going to be amazing. Everyone with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, second. And before that, I need to do a very important thing, which is mute you so that I have my own comfort. Are you all able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Okay. So, in today's chapter, which is organisms and environment, my computer is acting a bit funny. Just give me In today's chapter, which is organisms and environment, what we are going to see is how organisms and their respective populations contribute to keep the running of an ecosystem. How an ecosystem, what an ecosystem is, we're going to get into that. But just remember, in this chapter, we are actually going to see the diversity of forms. Forms here means organisms. We are going to see how the organisms are diverse in nature. And we are going to see the complexity, how my behavior is having some connection with each one of you sitting over there. How I hold the power over you and vice versa. So tomorrow, if you are not interested in what I am saying, then this two-way process that is happening will not happen. Is what this chapter is going to teach us. We will see how the levels of organization are there, how it all starts from a cell. Cells become bigger cells, then these bigger cells turn into tissues, which makes up the organs, and then the organisms. Individual organism, along with many others of its kind, will form a population for that species. ये हम सबको मालूम है. अगर मैं एक हूँ, फिर मेरी फैमिली है, मेरी फैमिली के साथ मेरे रिलेटिव्स है, मेरे रिलेटिव्स के साथ मेरे नेबर्स है, मेरे नेबर्स के साथ मेरी कम्युनिटी है, मेरी कम्युनिटी के साथ मेरा कॉलेज है, मेरे कॉलेज के साथ मेरा वर्ल्ड है. तो all of this is connected, and that is what we are going to study. But precisely, we are studying this with regards to animals. Plants also we might study, but majorly we will see how animals are interconnected and other species also. About communities, we'll talk about ecosystem, and we will come to a very, very important word, which is biome. So today we are going to study all of this. You can very clearly now see here that we showed using a pointer or a highlighter. You see an individual species, you see a population, you see communities, and then you see a biome. So here you see the progressive growth. Individual, community, population, many communities, and all this we will be studying in today's lecture. So let us start with our first point. Let us understand the concept of what is an ecosystem. An ecosystem or a ecosystem is a community or a group of living organisms that live and interact with each other. What is an ecosystem? An ecosystem is a community or a group of living organisms that live in and interact with each other in a specific environment. If you want to go the other way around, what is an ecosystem? Ecosystem is a setup that is made in a specific environment. And in this specific environment, we have interactions taking place. There is certain exchange of information, that is certain exchange that is taking place. Between whom? Between the organisms that are living over there. And this organism that is living over there is not a single organism, but an entire community. So again, from point A to point B or B to a community or a group of living organisms that live together, that show interactions between each other in a specific environment can be termed as ecosystem. Just give me a second, girls. Let me just switch off the phone. Yes. All right. Next one. Now, in an ecosystem, obviously, you will find living and non-living components. All those living components, all those living organisms in the form of animals and plants are said to be biotic components of an ecosystem. Bio means living. All the living components of an ecosystem are biotic components, and along with biotic components, there are abiotic components also. All the non-living components of an ecosystem are abiotic components of a ecosystem. Biotic and abiotic are the two essential factors or components that are responsible for shaping the ecosystem. So, when the living and the non-living come together and there is a certain kind of exchange that takes place between these two components, an ecosystem flourishes, a ecosystem functions, the well-being of an ecosystem takes place. That is what you need to know. The biotic factors, as I have said, all the living ones, abiotic, all the non-living ones. Now, these abiotic factors that are there, how are they present in an ecosystem? The abiotic factors that are there, which are present in the ecosystem, could be in the form of living physical conditions like the temperature, like the pH, like the humidity, the salinity, and the sunlight. All these physical conditions have a direct impact on the abiotic factors. And which are the abiotic factors? These abiotic factors are soil, water, air. Along with this, the chemical agents in the form of different gases and mineral nutrients are present in an ecosystem. Thus, an ecosystem is made up of the biotic and the abiotic factors, which is living and non-living things respectively, like biotic, plants, animals, protist microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, and so on. Anything where there is exchange of gases, food, and there is growth that is seen, which is living, characteristic feature, is biotic, is living, and abiotic, which is non-living things in the form of water, soil, air, minerals, and light. So abiotic factors and biotic factors together make up the ecosystem. Now, in this, very clearly you see how there is entanglement of biotic and abiotic. You see the abiotic factors in the form of the cycles that are taking place and how these cycles, the water cycle, the soil cycle, the mineral cycle, the gaseous cycle, and so on. Because of this, there is exchange between that is taking place between a biotic zone and the biotic. Obviously, the biotic zone is very clear for us to understand because we have studied it. There are producers, there are consumers, there are decomposers, and these decomposers pass on the information, the content to the abiotic zone, and the abiotic zone back it comes to the producer. This is how an ecosystem is progressively seen functioning in any setup. We have seen about ecosystem. Let us talk about the word in relation to the ecosystem, which is ecology. What is ecology? Ecology is study. Ecos is actually originated. If you try to study words, no, you will realize that they all have a point of origin. And all these words that have a point of origin actually give us probe, give us a clue about its meaning. The word ecology is derived from the word oikos, O-I-K-O-S, which means home. Study of this home is ecology. Economic, the word. So here, ecology is the study of home. And home is where? Nowhere else but this beautiful earth. So the study of this earth, which is study of eco, which is home, is ecology. What is ecology? It is the study of the interactions among organisms. देखो एक बात बहुत ही important है जो आप सबको study करनी है, understand करनी है and register it for life. Nowhere are they talking about I, me, myself. There is always the concept of exchange that is coming across in this chapter. And that is the lesson that you need to take back. Is when I talk about nature, we are always talking about sharing, we are always talking about communicating, we are always talking about interactions, exchange. To study of interactions among organisms, I contribute in my own possible ways. You contribute in whatever capacity that you can, and together we make something beautiful, which is ecos, which is home. Study of interactions among organisms and organisms and their physical environment. एक तो हम organisms को study करेंगे कि भाई ये organism coming to the video that we saw today. This organism that we saw, this camel, this dolphin, what else did we see today? This polar bear that we saw. All this lion that we saw has its own genetic makeup. उसका खुद का power है. Every individual on this organism, on this earth, has its own ability to survive. But along with its ability, there are also weaknesses. And because of these weaknesses and the strengths, there are interactions taking place. तो हम organism को तो study करेंगे ही करेंगे, उसके साथ हम और कौन सी चीज study करेंगे? Organisms और उसका environment. Today I am sitting here in my room and taking a lecture, which is much easier. But tomorrow, if I have to come to college and stand on the podium and talk to you all, my way of communication will change. My behavior will change because I have been now taken from my comfort zone to a different environment. And I have to adapt to that environment if I want to stand there. I have to make sure that I am able to deliver the same quality that I can or that I am in this premises. And that is what ecology talks about. Ecology talks about how well an organism has adapted itself to its own habitat and how, because of their adaptation to its own habitat, the organism can function so well. So, this is something in similar lines to the previous chapter that we have studied, which is origin and evolution. Right? The word ecology was first used by Rita. However, जो प्रैक्टिकल एप्लीकेशंस था जो इम्प्लाई किया उसने एग्जांपल्स के साथ जो हमको एक्सप्लेन किया इकोलॉजी दैट वाज डन बाय ई हैकल. E. Haeckel for the first time said that there is this big zone which we need to study of ecology. Let us try to understand the concept of ecology with this second example. पहला तो हमने एक स्लाइड देखा है अभी this is the second slide. So here what do you see? You see an individual. You see a population of the same species. Then this population is now living in a community. In this community, ये जो aquarium का setup है, for example, has many other factors. So if I want to have a setup of sea setup for an aquarium, I need or a marine setup for an aquarium. I need to have all those factors, all those fishes that can conveniently survive in salt water, marine water. So that will be my community setup. And when I introduce the abiotic components to this, it becomes an ecosystem. So now you see there is progressive growth from individual to population to community to ecosystem. And this ecosystem on a much, much bigger scale, many ecosystems such of similar structure and fashion make up the biome. Let me focus on this word biome because we are going to study this word in detail. What is a biome? I'm sure you have come across grasslands, savannas, tundra region, deserts of the world, tropical rainforests, and so on. All these parts of the world that together make up the world, which have its own distinguishing characteristic featured setup of environment and the plant and the animals population that you see in that particular zone comprises or makes up the biome. So various biomes together come today to make up this beautiful globe. And finally, you have the biosphere, the earth in totality. So this is how when we start with origin, which is us, to evolution, the community as a whole, we are able to understand the whole concept of organisms and populations. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to study each one of them in detail. I want each one of you to have your textbook with you so that you exactly know what we are studying and on what page we are. Okay? Is that clear? Now, we are seeing individual, population, community, and then ecosystem. If you try to understand each of these words, there is one thing that will come to your mind. And what is that one thing? You will see these are sequences of increasing complexity. These are sequential levels of increasing complexity. एक organism को study करना easy है. 4 organisms को study करना थोड़ा complex है. Community को study करना और भी detailed है. Biome study करना उससे भी detailed है. Now we will start with a subtopic which is organisms and environment. What is organisms and environment and what are we going to study in it? Study of animal or plant physiology. We have to know the organism. If you remember, I had put up a image of a jaguar on our biology group post where that photographer was behind the jaguar for 2.5 years. And that 1 second in these 2.5 years, when he could tap on his movement and click the picture, the image that you have got, that he got, said is the fruit of my hard work, the toil of my hard work that I put in for 2.5 years. So, if you want to study an organism and if you want to understand an organism, you need to study the organism, you need to study the environment. So, study of animal and plant physiology, which will help us to understand how organisms are, how they adapt themselves to the environment, which will give us a clear picture of why the organism has been able to survive and propagate. How it could survive. एक तो मेरा सर्वाइवल सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है उसके बाद ही प्रोपोगेशन होगा उसके बाद ही रिप्रोडक्शन हो सकता है आफ्टर दैट ओनली वी कैन थिंक अबाउट द नेक्स्ट जनरेशन बट बिफोर दैट फर्स्ट कम्स सर्वाइवल okay yes is that clear so before we move on to this we will also talk a bit about What is an organism? What is an organism? Individual organism is the basis of ecological hierarchy. If I want to study an ecosystem, I have to study the organism. Organisms of same kind will try to remain together, and that is how they will inhabit a geographical area. We want to be associated with people of our own kind. I would want to be always having some association with my community, which is absolutely right. Our rituals, our customs, our ways, our traditions are same. And I feel some kind of resonance in all these activities because of similarity. Same it is with organisms. All organisms, when they together stand as a population, they get strength from it. If you have seen the movie, and I'm sure you have, the Jungle Book, the latest series, you are able to see then that when that Mowgli is lost and Sher Khan comes after him, he jumps and there are bisons there standing. Now, because they are in a larger number, it becomes very easy to push that tiger away. So together as a community, as a population, I get strength as an organism. Organisms of the same kind inhabiting a geographical area in my own domain. If you try to attack me, I become strong. So population adds strength to me as an organism. Several populations of many species come together. There is a population of tigers, there is a population of giraffes, there is a population of deer, there is a population of fishes. Together, when they come up, they all come to the pond to drink water. So they all make a community. And this community, in some way or the other, is interacting with the existing organisms in that community. So now let us come to our word for today, which we have to explore. What is biome? A biome constitutes or makes up a large region of terrestrial unit, a large place that comprises of land. But there are its own limitations. Limitations that as long as the climate remains same, that biome will have its periphery, boundary, borders, and thereby it will delimit itself by specific climatic zone where major vegetation will be similar within the zone. मेजर 100% नहीं, ज्यादा से ज्यादा एक पर्टिकुलर टाइप्स ऑफ स्पीशीज प्रोमिनेंटली वहां पे आपको दिखेंगे, प्लांट हो, एनिमल हो, माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिजम्स भी. So depending on this one concept of what is available, you will see that associated fauna will follow. मतलब क्या? जैसा फ्लोरा है वैसा fauna रहेगा. Whatever plants are there, obviously depending on these plants, you will see the animals. Fauna matlab animals. So as is the plant producer set up, so will be the fauna. So will be the animal structure there, found there. There are 6 major groups of terrestrial biomes, and we shall try to see these biomes in our today's lecture. We will just start with this lecture. Okay. Now, I would want you all to take a minute off from this gyan. And I would want you all to unmute yourself and any 2 points from The other girls who have not answered so far, I would want any 2 points from you that we have studied or that you have come across that you could imbibe so far. Any 2 points. Yes. Who would want to go ahead? Hello. Participation is important. Otherwise, there is no point in discussing and having lectures. Any 2 points? Who's the first one to start? So, are you all there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So please speak up. That is also important. Nobody has anything to say. Should I run the PPT? If you have the textbook with you, you could just go through any one point and try to explain it. Hello? Nobody has anything to say. Then what's the point in the teacher trying or going out of her own way to explain things? We also need certain kind of reinforcement, no, in the form of responses from you. Nobody has anything to say. Okay, I'll give you a clue, and then will you all be able to answer something? Okay, I'll give you a clue. Let's try it this way. Is there anything that you learned today about a very important one? Biomes. What are biomes?
Ma'am, may I?
Humera?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Say.
Biomes are large regional terrestrial units delimited by specific climatic.
ठीक है टेक्स्ट से पढ़ा तो भी चलेगा no worries at least we know that you know what is being registered inside your head great very nice could
मैं
somebody
textbook का
explain it
समझ गई.
in her own words anybody what are biomes could you give me examples of biomes some other person yes who's this एक हर example दे दो biome का so many examples I have mentioned so far hello hello no grasslands grasslands बोलो तो second word आना चाहिए deserts tundra region Arctic Antarctic ice then tropical evergreen forest deciduous forest conifers correct yes or no okay so what is a
Yes, ma'am.
community what is a community can you all tell me what a community is what is a community there is organism there is population yes
Population of different um, species living in the same habitat.
who is this
Palak.
Like I can't see you okay here you are yeah okay yes tell me so there is population of different species living in a
Same
habitat
habitat.
community correct that's right
Yes.
so there could be two or more species interacting more important they have to
Yes.
interact
Yes.
in some way or the other that's right correct please mute yourself excellent fantastic great fine so far you have understood any other person who has already answered and would like to contribute in some way or the other anybody has anything to say no okay so I will just
Yes,
repeat
ma'am. Can you hear me?
yes who's this Amiti
No, Zina.
Zenith yes Zenith please tell
You were asking something about community. So
hmm
my mic was unable. I was unable to unmute. I was saying that We can also say that it is an interaction of group of various species in a common location.
Right, why not? Yes, absolutely. Correct. That's right. Correct.
Okay,
Absolutely.
thank you, ma'am.
That's right. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Jim. Okay, all right. So I would request you all to unmute yourself. And I think we have 5 more minutes. So we shall just see another video. And we see how it goes. So I'm not going to show you the entire video. I will just give you a brief idea about what it is. And I'll end on that. So you have something to ponder upon the entire video. Isn't it beautiful?
When you look at pictures of Earth from space, what's the first thing that you see? A blue marble, as some have described it. A water world, where oceans and swirls of white cloud dominate. But most of us will then have our attention drawn to the shapes imprinted on its surface, the continents. And they come in many colors. The white of Antarctica, the beige of the Sahara, the light green of grasslands, and the darker shades of our planet's forests in their many forms. So many of these colors that give the world its look are the result of trillions of individual plants growing upon the surface. Which plants grow where is determined by many factors, with climate being the most dominant. Desert and scrubland, savanna, prairie and steppe, tundra and taiga, woodland and rainforest. They are at the base of almost every food chain of every animal, the habitats that sustain all other life forms and ourselves. Collectively, they are known as the biomes, the living landscapes of Earth.
On that note, we shall stop today's lecture.